Right, get this. The chicken goes into a library, goes up to the librarian, and says, "Buck." Takes the book. Okay, that the librarian gives him. Takes it down to the pond. And he gives the book to a frog. Yeah, frog. Frog takes one look at it, throws the book away, and says, "Read it."
Read it.
Kilograms.
You've got to fight for what you want, for all that you believe. It's right to fight for what we want, to live the way we please. As long as we have done our best, then no one can do more. And life and love.
Hello there, welcome to the Flash and Bloke VidiProg. I'm not very good with jokes. That was Omega, who basically listened to the joke and said, "What is this?" He does. Yes, sorry for the gap. I can't remember, why did we have a gap?
Why did what, sorry?
Why did we have a gap?
We were having a gap year, and we've come back in time, but we've missed 2 weeks as a result.
We do apologise. No, we don't. No. So anyway, yes, news. There was some news. Bournemouth are having a police box.
Are they?
A Mackenzie Trench police box.
Lovely.
Yep, apparently they want to increase policing presence, so they're building a proper TARDIS-style police box.
Out of concrete?
Steel.
Ooh.
Yes, it's going to be the second operational police box in the country.
That
Where's
baint
the first
right.
one?
That baint right, steel.
Where's the first one?
That baint Harry make a police box.
Where's the first one, dear?
Earl's Court.
Good. Where everybody goes to. Yes, pathetic, really. By the way, did you get a link for some video?
I don't know. Did I?
Oh, good. Well, we'll come to that in a moment. Shall we talk about the new puppet?
Okay, the new puppet.
Yes. There's a problem.
Oh.
You see, I went to order the new puppet, and Lily's turned up. I don't think the two things aren't connected. Anyway, so went to order it. Designed it and everything else like that. Went to pay. Put in my card details now. Because they don't deliver over here, they don't do overseas stuff. Lilibet basically said, "Sorry, you can send it to me and I'll post it on to you." Really decent. Thank you, Elizabeth. Unfortunately, for some reason, there was a crack up with the addresses, whether it's a different postage address is different to the card address or something like that. They said they couldn't do it. Tried it through PayPal, that didn't work. So obviously, there's going to be a way we'll be able to sort this out. One slight problem. They didn't accept the order, yet they took the money.
Bum.
Now then, so I'm sitting there wondering where all the money from the Kickstarter's gone. Really worried about this. Eventually, I go down to my bank and start talking to them to try and track down where the money's gone. It's gone to them.
To the bank.
But there's no order.
Right, yep.
So I've contacted them. Basically said, "Look, this is the situation. You've taken the money, but you haven't given us the order. So could you either do one of two things? Could you either send the Muppet as ordered, as we put in, which frankly is preferable. Profiterole. Profiteroles. So, that's what we want. We want the Muppet, please. Failing that, can you return the money?" I haven't heard a word from them.
Oh dear.
Except, this is good, The toys, I think they're part of Toys R Us.
Correct.
Toys R Us have said, you've recently contacted our customer services. Would you please complete a survey to tell us how good our customer service was?
Appalling.
So basically, FAO, courtesy of Toys R Us, get your fingers in gear. It was explained to you that this was a Kickstarter campaign. It was explained to you that it was for a video show with an adjoining podcast. Do you really want the bad press?
No.
Because I can get very nasty and very public very quickly. Give us our money back, or give us our Muppet. Okay? Pledges, thank you so much. You will be getting what you pledged for. I promise you, you'll get it this month, which is March. Whether it be the Space Goat song, whether it be voiceovers. And Dean Hill has already received his. Dean Hill, and I'm going to embarrass him slightly now, Dean Hill pledged £40. Specifically, I know. But he did deliberately because he wanted to name the Muppet. Now, we're going to play video of the actual naming in a moment. However, some of you may already have seen it because Tim Drury, Fandom Zero Ned Snowden, decided he put the videos straight out.
Hello, Tim.
On the show. Thanks, Tim. You really got to learn to stop doing things like this. Yes, so we'll, hopefully Sinister will do magic and splice the video in now.
Damn it.
That light's not at all intrusive.
Yes, now I have the good fortune of naming the Muppet for the Staggering Story. Oh, gosh, there's only one Muppet. Well, it could be. Well, it's named, it might well be, actually.
When Scott puts the light up, you hear the words Muppet Staggering Story.
I think that's what it was. For the Flashing Blade, sorry. And, yes, she has 3 names. Davinia.
Woo!
Hoovian. Face. Thank you. And Olivia. McVitie.
That's 4 names.
No, but surnames.
Surname's McVitie.
So D-W-O. Right, thank you.
You're going to have to write this down.
Don't worry.
Have you spliced it in?
Yes, I have. That was very well done, wasn't it?
Yes. So it's Davinia, Hoovian, Olivia McVitie, DWO.
Nice.
Yeah. Doctor Who Online. The utter person. And he worked it out. Davinia is obviously because of Dave, Professor Dave, with no last name. It was now, I think it was actually born in the universe before this one. And if you don't know what we're talking about, go and listen to the podcast. Oh, you can't at the moment. Yeah, I'll explain about that in a moment as well. Yeah, obviously the W word. Because they know I hate the W word. So, yes, DWO McVitie. He was tempted to go for the hat McVitie, but didn't quite work out. So, the Muppet's been named, the Muppet's been designed, they've got the money, they're just not sending it to us.
Not good.
FAO, courtesy of Toys R Us. Come on. You really don't want a bad name, do you? No, you don't. So, there we go, there's that. Yes. The Muppet has been named. Okay, now, Mr. Sinister, or Dr. Sinister even, Mr. Sinister's from the X-Men. Why are you drinking my water, child?
I'm not.
My water? Oh, you carry on, why don't you? Lily's decided that my water was some problem. Yeah, so very quickly, before we carry on, what do you make of this Kickstarter nonsense? We have to discuss this, don't we?
What do I make of it? It's not terribly good, is it? I spend a lot of money in Toys R Us, and I could, they wouldn't want to upset me either.
I mean, I'm going to be. I'm terrified of this going wrong. People have put so much money in.
Yeah.
And they're getting something for it, but that's not the point. It's there for a particular reason.
Yeah.
And I'm angry about this. And like I say, nervous in case people are going to start pointing fingers or something like that. As for the actual podcast feed, that's gone down at the moment. Ironically, because money went out of my bank account and there's no money to actually put it through. But it looks like Steve and Neil are going to be continuing the podcast. But I need to sort out the podcast feed and get that sorted up. It will be back, don't worry. One way or the other. You may just have to watch them on here. I don't know. So, you went to the pictures.
I did go to the pictures.
What did you go and see?
What's that? What is
Film
that?
2014 music.
Oh.
And why not?
I went to see the Lego movie.
Hooray!
And I took my entire family. Well, not my entire
Hooray!
family.
At
There's
gunpoint.
hundreds of them. I took my immediate family.
At gunpoint.
And it was very, very good.
And not at nerve point.
Sorry?
At nerve point.
No. They wanted to go. My son particularly wanted to go. My
Ah,
son likes playing the Lego games on the Wii U. Yes, I'm one of the 2 people that bought a Wii U.
and the other one is El Presidente, Adam Purcell, our
Yeah.
chief scientist.
Yeah, but I always buy the Lego games, and it keeps him occupied for hours and hours and hours, and he keeps replaying them, and it's brilliant.
I've got
Anyway,
level Lego Marvel superheroes
yes,
on the Xbox.
he is playing that on the Wii U, Lego Marvel Superheroes.
Probably doing a lot better than me.
He doesn't like it as much as Lego City Undercover, which is a fantastic game, but
I've heard really good things about that.
it's really good. It's basically Grand Theft Auto in Legoland, essentially.
It was
Anyway.
slightly better in morals, ethics, and political correctness.
Yes, there's not. I mean, well, if you accidentally run somebody over, they just jump up in pieces and form back together again, so it's not a problem. But anyway, we went to see the Lego movie, which is really, really good. And I know you were
Spoilers,
singing.
because I haven't seen it.
No, I'm not going to give you any spoilers. I
Okay,
might
good.
tell you some basic plot information, but there will be no spoilers.
I've seen the trailers.
Well, you know you were singing a song just now.
What, film 2014?
Yeah. I guarantee you, when you finish seeing the Lego movie, you will be singing "Everything is Awesome." Because that's been going through my head now for 2 weeks.
Oh, bless. It's such a big, empty, echoing cavern, really, isn't it? The acoustics must be wonderful for it.
It's fantastic. Anyway, so it's spectacularly well done. I have to say, I'll be honest with you, I had heard a long time ago that it was stop motion. And when I went to see it, I was convinced it was stop motion, and I've since discovered it was CGI. Now, this is the first movie that I've gone to where I genuinely didn't realise it was CGI. That's how good the animation is.
Fair enough.
It looks
I
just
thought
like...
it would be CGI. Then I heard it was. I mean, I looked at the trailers, thought this is CGI. Then I looked at the news and heard it was stop motion. You sure it's not a mixture of the two?
It's entirely possible, but some of those shots that would be impossible with stop motion. So yeah, you could be right. But anyway, it's fantastically well done.
She's not playing Tom Baker.
Sorry?
Where's Tom? She's killed Tom.
I have some toys from the Lego movie,
Oh, poor little Tom Baker.
obviously made of Lego.
It's going to regenerate.
It has quite a good cast. Liam Neeson plays a substantial voiceover role as a character called Bad Cop, who also has a good side called Good Cop. His head turns around. He has different face on each side. There's what's his name? Morgan Freeman. He's in it. He's a guy called
Is he gone?
Vitruvius, who's this kind of mystic guy
He's gone.
who predicts about the coming of the special. And Will Ferrell's in it as well. Now he has a voiceover role, and I'm not going to say any more on that particular topic. There are a few interesting guest stars, and again, I don't want to spoil it for you, but some interesting people turn up in the film. But the only downside to the film is that, and I'm not going to say why, it's a not so subtle dig at adult fans of Lego, such as myself.
That's a bit
I'm
odd.
going to leave that air.
You're
of
the first
mystery
person to
hanging
say
there.
that.
I'm the first person to say that.
I've heard everybody else is basically congratulating them for basically saying, look, it's a big corporate thing, and what they're doing with the film is ripping the mickey out of corporations and big corporation stuff. No one said it's having a go at adult fans.
No, the corporation thing is a red herring. The fact that the villain of the piece happens to be called Lord Business. I think someone on Fox News was slagging off the Lego Movie, saying it was an attack on. It was an attack.
Is it a
on,
socialist movie?
Yeah, basically. But it's really difficult for me to say this without giving away the plot.
Okay.
But that is just like a coating over the top. When you actually look at what the movie is really about, it's not about that at all. It's actually a movie about parenting. And it's a movie about imagination, and it's a movie about letting your imagination run free rather than restricting your imagination as some people would have it. And I really can't say any more without giving the plot away. But when you see it, you may realise what I'm trying to say. Because in one of the characters, I recognise myself. I'm getting quite deep now. But it's an exceptional
by saying,
film.
why did he wear an eye patch? But...
It's a really good film. I didn't bother seeing it in 3D. A, obviously the depth perception isn't there. B, my son, when every time we take him to see a 3D movie, he takes the glasses off and just sits there watching the blurred picture like that because he's insane. So we saw it in
now, was
3D.
he insane before or after the 3D?
It runs in the family, clearly. But yeah, really, really well made film. It's got some brilliant jokes in it, some brilliant sequences in it, and if I wasn't a fan of Lego, I would still have enjoyed it. It's not a kids movie. Well, it is, but it's a kid movie that can be enjoyed by everybody. It really
It's
can.
a family musée.
It is, but the word, sometimes if you say it's a family movie, some people sometimes mean that in a detrimental sense. I don't mean it in a detrimental sense. I mean it in an entirely positive sense.
Like the Simpsons. What is wrong with my voicing tonight? Like the Simpsons or Doctor Who, it can be enjoyed by everyone.
Yeah, and I'm not saying this on a sort of pantomime. You know, sometimes pantomimes have jokes that are specifically for adults. Yeah.
Yes.
This doesn't have that so much. It's just a film that you can just enjoy. You know.
That's the best thing, really, isn't it?
It doesn't. What I mean is, it doesn't have a subtext for adults and a separate subtext for kids. It's just, it is what it is.
Okay.
Unlike some pantomimes, which might make crude innuendos sometimes just to get the adults laughing, while the kids are going, "Well, that went straight over my head," you know.
Years ago, I was in pantomime. Back in 1988/1989 for the Jersey Ultra Dramatics Club. I played the Dame. Got on video somewhere. Anyway, it was cheap and cheerful and lots of fun. And I don't know what it was like for the audience, but we had a whale of a time. We had a hell of a good review from the local paper. I went, out of courtesy, I went to the other amateur dramatic clubs, the Green Room Club, their pantomime. They'd come to see us en masse and walked out halfway, just leaving all these empty seats.
Nice.
It was an all thing, pathetic, quite frankly. Ended up with them having to do an official apology and whatever. Anyway, so I went to see their show. It was just full of adult smut. It was ridiculous. They'd spent a fortune on the costumes. And this guy said, well, you've missed the whole point.
Yeah.
You know?
There's no smut in the Lego Movie at all.
Fair enough.
It's a film that anyone can appreciate though, because of the writing and the wit and the humour is just fantastic.
Good. All right. Lovely. And what about this news that the Lego now have got a license for proper Doctor Who?
Well,
Or proper
so
Lego
this is
got
very
license
interesting.
to-
So some years ago, as you know, I had a Facebook page. I was campaigning for a petition for Doctor Who Lego, and according to my sources that I cannot name, Lego were making the bid for Doctor Who, but they didn't get it. This was despite, I believe, some elements within the Lego company were trying to say that Doctor Who just didn't have the global appeal for this kind of, which is absolute rubbish. And they've made other themes that they've limited to certain countries that are not global or global phenomena. So anyway, I think they're probably eating their words now, because it's got even bigger, if that's at all possible, over the last few years. So now what happened was Lego Kuso, which is this thing where you can submit your own designs. I think I've mentioned this before. I was talking about my friend Peter Reed and his exosuit design.
Yes, very good. That was very impressive.
Lego Kuso have always rejected out of hand any designs on certain licensed material. So Doctor Who is a good example, because the Doctor Who building toy license, for whatever it's called, is owned by Character Options, character building or whatever, who make the action figures. Now I believe this was because they had a good relationship with the BBC. Now Lego have recently made an announcement saying that they will no longer reject out of hand submissions for Doctor Who specifically, thus leading to the implication is that the license no longer sits with Character, and the license may possibly now sit with Lego, or at least it's up for grabs.
Interesting. It's going to be fun to see what's going to happen.
Now, well, here's the slightly annoying thing, though. So some of my friends suggested I submit my Lego TARDIS design, and hang on one sec. I can put a link to this design at the end of this video. I basically I released this design to the world. I gave it away for free. I've given away instructions. I've done videos for how to build it. And it's really gratifying to see people all around the world have used my Lego TARDIS design.
Do you want to put one of those on the end of this show? Can you?
I can do, but they're quite long.
How long's long?
20 minutes.
Tell you what, we'll upload it separately if you're happy to do that.
Yeah, they're on YouTube anyway, so I can just So it for me, it's been quite gratifying seeing people literally around the world using my Lego TARDIS design. Somebody suggested that I submit this design to Lego Kuso, and I said, oh, well, I might do that. Well, it turns out that some little swine has already done it.
You should be able to challenge that.
I'm going to have to challenge it, and the annoying thing is I'm going to now have to find the time not only to keep an eye on Lego Kuso and challenge every single time my design is put up, but I think for the sake of self-preservation, I'm going to have to put it up there myself. Now, I don't particularly want to have to do that, because I gave that design away for free. And, number one, I wasn't allowed to make any money off of it, and B, I wouldn't have dreamed of doing it anyway. But it just annoys me that there are people out there who just want to piggyback off the back of other people's work. So I'm probably going to have to take the time out to actually start my own Lego Kuso design campaign, even though I really didn't want to have the hassle of doing that. Hey-ho. But anyway, on the plus side, we might get some Doctor Who Lego in the future, official Doctor Who Lego, and that would be really cool.
Not really a one for Lego.
You're not? You're not a Mega Bloks fan, I hope.
What?
Mega Bloks.
I don't like anything like that. It's not a case of don't like it, it's just never come across my radar. Well, not since I was a kid. I don't mean it's childish. I can understand the skill that a lot of stuff goes into, but the
I just don't have the patience or time to be building, like, and gluing models and painting them. With Lego, you get an instant kind of you get instant gratification with Lego in that you build something and it's there, it's finished. You know what I mean?
Can we
You
put the
could
clip
just
up
take-
from
you could
Blue
just-
Peter of Mark Curry knocking the head off a Lego person?
If you're a bit short-sighted, you might think that one of the exhibits was another visitor. He's a life-size model of a businessman. Oh, oh dear. It just shows you how fragile these things are.
Anyway, but Doctor Who Lego would be nice.
I'm sure it would.
The character option stuff isn't bad. Well, I say it isn't bad. The actual sets are pretty bad in that they don't hold together as nice as Lego, but the Daleks are really nice. I've got a bag of about 50
They're
Daleks
not
over there.
Daleks.
No, some of them are.
Or proper Daleks.
Yeah, they do. They do the Time War era Daleks as well now.
Talking of the Time War era Daleks, next show. Quite a bit to do with Daleks.
Ooh.
Shall we go?
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
Yes. Bye bye. Say toodles.
Toodles.
I say toodles.
Oh yeah, you say toodles.
Yes, toodles.
You've got to fight for what you want, for all that you believe. It's right to fight for what we want, to live the way we please. As long as we have done our best, then no one can do more. And life and love and happiness are well worth fighting for. They're well worth fighting for.